Hello guys, welcome back on the LG Mindset platform. I'm your host, Luisa, and on today's episode, we're gonna talk about scaling your teen business. So basically, how to grow and expand while balancing school and life. So starting a business as a teenager is an impressive accomplishment. And also, you've got it off the ground, so the next challenge is figuring out how to scale it. So basically, scaling means growing your business in a way that increases your impact and revenue without a proportional increase in cost or time. This can be especially challenging because you have to juggle school, activities, but also personal life. But with the right strategies, it's definitely possible to take your business to the next level. So let's get right into it. Why scaling matters. At some point, you will reach a stage where your business is running smoothly, but you realize there's more potential to tap into. Scaling allows you to serve more customers, increase your profits, and make a bigger impact, all while managing your time effectively. Instead of just working harder, you need to work smarter using tools or strategies that allow your business to grow sustainably. And that's what we will look. So, on this episode, we will talk about 7 strategies to basically scaling your teen business. So, the 7 strategies for scaling your teen business. The first one is automate where you can. So, automation is key to scaling without overwhelming yourself. Look for tasks that you do repeatedly and find tools to automate them. For example, if you're sending out the same emails to new customers, use email marketing software. Set up automated responses. If you manage a social media presence, scheduling tools can help you plan and post content automatically. And I did it for the past 3 weeks. I just needed to basically manage my social media presence because always every morning going to TikTok, going to Instagram, going this and this and this, and just posting my content for LG Mindset is so it takes so much time that I would rather do something else, And so what I did is that I went to TikTok, but on my computer, and I saw that you could basically just put timing, and when you want, it's scheduling and stuff like that. And also on Instagram, and I think on many other platforms you can do it. And there are also platforms that exist just to do this. I think you can really do it. It's really easy and it doesn't take a lot of time. So number 2 is to focus on your core offerings. When you're scaling, it's easy to get distracted by new ideas and opportunities. But instead, focus on what you do the best and what brings the most value to your customers. Streamline your offerings and make sure you're delivering top quality products or services. By focusing on your strength and etc., you'll create a stronger brand and more satisfied customers. So for this, I also have an example. Well, you will be the only one to know this, but I wanted to also open basically a clothing brand with some friends. But the thing is, there are 2 ways if you want. You have the first way where we are really talking about a really good clothing brand with really good qualities, and a really good brand, etc., So something that is also based in Luxembourg, and that is you know what I mean, a really good business brand, not something from basically maybe China, you know what I mean, really good quality. And then you have the second path, so you just want a clothing brand, you just want something very cheap, and it's called basically drop shipping, just buying things from China or Alibaba, etc., all these things, and basically doing drop shipping. And you also can do it with clothing, And that was something I just talked about with my friends, is that which path do you want to do? Personally, the thing is, you have the 2, it's not it is a bad option, the second one, because I'm sure you will say, oh, I prefer the first one. Yeah, but the thing is, what you need to realize in your head is that basically running a business and also a clothing brand takes so much time because you need to tell yourself, you need to respond to your customers, you need to send emails, you need to also basically do the brand, you need to also create it, you need also to see where you can ship, because maybe you cannot ship in Europe or etc. Some things you need to also search for a good how do you say this, like a good delivery. You need to search for so many things and cost also a lot of money. It's not something you can do with just like this. You also need to have like an idea of a product, something original, and because as a business, you need to stand out from the others because you have so much like competition, and also here in Luxembourg. And a few months ago, I also saw basically a clothing brand that was so damn good. I'm also giving credit to them because it's just perfect. It's called Sentiment. You can just go searching on Instagram, I think. They also have like a website, and I think they're launching in September. I think it's the first one or the fourth. I'm not sure. But the thing is, their clothing brand is incredible. I love what they do. It is like good quality, it looks so good. Really like perfect. There is nothing to tell about it, perfect. And the thing is that you have basically the first path, like I said, but it takes so much time and you also need money. And then you have the second path that is, yes, it comes from China, it's called drop shipping, etc. But if you see from the other side, is it because you just want to do it? Or like you also want to learn how you do it? Or like you just want to like a clothing brand for maybe 1 or 2 years and then you have money and then you do something else. You know what I mean? So that's why. Just ask yourself, because you have like all the time, you will have two paths. Either you choose the right path. Well, there is no like right or wrong. But the thing is, either you choose a path where this is like something serious. Like if you want to really create a business brand, a clothing brand, you really need to put efforts in it. You really need to be sure that you really want to do this. If you're not really sure, like for example, I'm not really sure if I want this to be like a real business plan and stuff like that, like the first path. Maybe I want the second path because it's something that will be like, that will go a little bit faster because I want to understand how you need to create it. I don't want it to be like something in 10 years, etc. You know what I mean? I just want like a small business brand that lasts maybe for 1 or 2 years just to see how it goes, etc. Just to have like some data to basically learn from it. But then after, maybe I will create something else. But I know it won't be necessarily like a business brand. Maybe a jewelry brand. I don't know. I have no idea yet. But yeah, that's what I mean. Basically, just ask yourself the question if you really want to just put like your things into it and you really basically value your customers and also send them like good quality products, or really something very fast to just learn. Because the two, they're not bad, but it's just you really need to focus on yourself and focus on what you want to do and what you want to be perceived as by the world. So to build a strong brand. So a strong brand is essential for scaling, of course, to grow, It helps you stand out in the market and builds trust with your customers, of course. So basically, invest time in refining your brand identity, your logo, your website, and overall image. Consistency is key here. The more recognizable and trustworthy your brand is, the easier it will be to attract and like basically retain customers. And basically, in it, what you need to understand is that it depends really on what you want. Again, it depends on if you really want something fast or if you really want to do like a truly business brand. But I think this is something very important. It's like the algae mindset platform, I'm always renewing it. I'm always like doing basically like my logo, etc. Well, it's been like 2 years since I haven't like done my logo again, but I would like basically to have like some ideas. So if you have ideas, you can also comment, of course. But yeah, about like the website, I also wanted to basically create my own website because I also wanted to post some blogs, to post also some like cool things, etc. To post also like some things I've learned, etc. So yeah, and basically overall the image. So what is your brand identity? For example, my brand identity, the Algae Mindset, is a brand that brings basically like, something successful. When you see it, I want you to see like success. I want you to see something chic, like something just refined, something so powerful, and really have this. Basically, when you see it, it's made by a woman, because I done it just alone. And just to see that it is really like chic, it is really like something refined, successful. And with the blue, because it's basically my color, What I want you to understand is really what is your brand identity? What do you want to bring out, to stand out for? And that is the most important thing, in basically building a strong brand, building a strong relationship between your customers, between like, why do you want them to trust you? Why do you want them to buy from you or to listen to you, And that's what we want. And you will see that when you will do this, when you will ask yourself like the 3 questions I asked, so the logo, website, and overall image, you will see that you will build a lot stronger brand than you used to. So number 4 is the outsource task. As your business grows, you will reach a point where you can do everything by yourself. So consider hiring freelancers or virtual assistants to take on tasks like graphic design, customer service, or content creation. This will free up your time to focus on higher level strategies and decision making. Websites like Upwork or Fiverr can help you find affordable help, because I saw on Upwork and also on Fiverr really good people for also good pricing, good quality, etc. I worked with one of Upwork and it was really good. He did me like a website design and I had nothing to say, and it wasn't really that much. If I remember, it was, I think, between 24 and 26 euros per hour, I think. So it was pretty okay, because these are the prices. Freelancers, they won't charge you as much as really like a brand, so it's pretty good. I, for example, work by myself now. I worked with 2 people, but sadly they needed to go because it's just like, it's not they couldn't. I think it was just because it was maybe too much, because we were like growing a lot, because we were working on like brands, etc. I cannot tell you anything because it's private. But the thing is, we were working on really something big, but it was basically too much for them, and that's why we just like stopped. But now I'm just working by myself, like on my Algae Mindset, and it's just mine, It's like basically I'm the CEO. It's really like sometimes funny to just like call myself I'm the CEO of Algae Mindset, because a lot of people said to me, yeah, it's just Algae Mindset. It's just like a little platform. And I'm like, yeah, because that's how a startup functions, That's how a startup is, It's very little at the beginning, but something I never tell people is that it's been since I was 13 years old that I always had this idea of calling my business name Algae Mindset, because on the Algae Mindset, you really learn my mindset, what I learned, from my life, from people, from entrepreneurs, from basically traders, investors, etc., from really rich people, not rich people by money, by physically, rich people in their mindset. You don't always need your parents to help you grow out. You don't need always like school, etc. The school system is just like fucked up. You know what I mean? So it's just that why is Algae Mindset here? It's because I really want to help you, every single one of you to just help, and basically we can grow up all together, and understand life, understand how it works, and that's why I'm also very happy, because it's been also like 2 years since I done basically LG Mindset. And yeah, I am proud because I worked with people, I worked with like a freelancer, I worked with also like entrepreneurs and investors. So I'm really glad, because LG Mindset is really growing, because there are like a lot of things I do, but on Instagram, for example, my community isn't aware. Having basically a freelancer is really sometimes important. Depends on really which type of business you have. For example, me, I don't really need it right now because it's pretty easy. But I think when I will have, like, for example, school, because I have like 3 years to go and then I'm done. But with school, with this, with work, etc., it's a bit complicated. So that's why freelancers are very, very good. It's a good option. But like, if you really have like this, like a business that is really big, then I think it's important to really not just have freelancers, but really hiring them. So now number 5 is basically leverage social media and online marketing. So as a teenager, you will likely already be familiar with social media, so that you use, so basically develop a solid online presence with through platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube to reach like a broader audience. Share your story, engage with your followers, and use targeted ads to attract new customers. That's also what Sentiment did. I saw that they were a lot with engage with their community, with their customers, and I think it's really good. For real, I'm just crediting them because they are so good. I really admire what they did, and I think you should really go see them because it's just incredible. The work they've done, it's perfect. And I also went in, I also engaged with them, etc., so pretty good. But yeah, what I mean is that social media is really a powerful tool for scaling your business without like a huge marketing budget, Yes, you need to be at least good at basically editing videos, etc. But I think when you can basically like grow like your business, when you can basically just develop a business, I'm sure you can also develop like social media. It's really, I don't think it will be like a huge problem for you, especially if you're a teenager, because this is just like, it is our thing, social media is our thing, that's for sure. But yeah, I think you're also like aware of this. Social media is perfect for like marketing, etc. if you don't have like a lot of money. I also saw that on Instagram you could also just choose, I think it was maybe 12 euros, I'm not sure, maybe more, to do like some ads. You could do like 1,000 or 2,000, etc. You can choose also when you want. On TikTok, I'm not sure, but I'm sure on Instagram and maybe Snapchat if you use it. I don't really use it. And on YouTube, I'm not sure about it. Here you need to see, but on Google, I saw it, and you can also do the same. I think it's pricier than Instagram. I'm not sure, but you can also do it. I think it was 0.12 cent for 10 or 20 views, something like that. So yeah, this could be like a really good thing. So number 6 is to manage your time wisely. Balancing school and growing your business can be very tricky. Time management is crucial. Create a schedule that allows you to prioritize both of your studies and your business. And also use tools like calendars, to-do lists, and productivity apps to stay on track. Remember, it's about working efficiently, not just working more and like with a bad quality, So for me, what I do is that, Right now, I'm on vacation since 2 months, so that's why I have like a lot of time. But when I have school, and I always did it since I was 14, is that I came to school. So I came back from school at 15, and then I just took a little pause. Then I just worked on like school. I just like did all my homework, even if it was like in 1 week, I don't care. I just did it. And the thing is that I could easily like manage my time because I was doing my work, even if it was like in 1 week. The weekend, I had nothing to do because I did like everything, and that was pretty cool because a lot of my classmates asked me, how are you doing it? Because we are tired. I have goals, I have like a mindset. I am so disciplined. At one point, I was conditioned like this, disciplined all my life. I had no choice because else I was punished. That's why now I do a to-do list. Even right now, I also did like a to-do list. Even if it's like 23, I always do a to-do list where I mark everything I need to do. This week, the most important thing I must do, etc. Every morning I do it. And it helps me so much at a point where you don't imagine how much time I am saving for myself, that's just incredible. And also a thing that I think most of people just forget about, but I think if you are building a business, I'm sure you're not like this, spending your time on social media. Please stop immediately. If you're someone new that wants to grow a business, stop, because you won't grow a business if you're just passing your time on TikTok, like YouTube, etc. You can use, of course, these platforms in a good way. Well, maybe not TikTok. It depends on the videos. But what I mean is that YouTube, for example, I use it to basically learn. So this morning, I watched 2 hours of a TED Talk. I watch also 1 hour, The Diary of a CEO. I love his episode, his podcast, really incredible. If you also want to go watch it, it's perfect. It's very long, and I think really depends if you really like podcasts or not, but I really like this. And so basically, yeah, that's something I do, is to learn from it. I try to never be on social medias, or because it's for work, that's it. Sometimes I post like stories about what I'm doing, etc., but I just put my phone down, and that's it, So yeah, that's why I really try to do my best to really not go on my phone for the whole day. But if it's for work, of course I will go to it. That's why I'm just like, per day, I think I spend 2 hours on my phone, just for myself. So nothing about work. Sometimes it's also about like music, etc. But that's it. And then on my computer, it's where I spend most of my time, of course, because I need to work, I need to do my podcast, I need to basically like do my blogs, I need to also learn about like trading, because right now I'm learning trading because, yeah, whatever. What I wanted to say here is that balancing school and growing business can be very tricky, that's for sure, but please prioritize both of your studies, because of course study is important if you want, but business is also important. Please just work on the two, and also find solutions, for example, calendars, to-do list, productivity apps, etc. Just stay on the track, that's it. So the last one is basically find mentors and resources. Very important step, the biggest step you could do, because I did it and it changed my whole life. So scaling a business can be daunting, for sure. Don't be afraid to seek help. Look for like mentors, for example, people who have experience in the business or the type of industry you want to learn, because they can provide valuable guidance and help you avoid common pitfalls, of course, because they learn from their mistakes, so you will automatically learn from them, because you can also find online courses. So you can find like online courses, books, and communities that offer support and advice on scaling a business. So to find mentors, it depends. I was mentored to people. Now they don't really necessarily need me. Sometimes they ask me questions, but that's it. But I was mentored from 2 people, and it was really cool because I learned also from them, and they learned from me. And so it was pretty good. I wanted to learn how a mindset functions. I really wanted to learn this, Because yes, I want to do money, of course, but I want to understand how are these people are basically 99% of the self-made millionaires have this mindset. This was the question that I asked myself since I was 13. How are they doing it, And so I had many mentors. I had like 2 or 3. I just learned from them a lot, And they told me like many things about how they do it, And it was just incredible just listening to their stories, listening to what they did, Just incredible. So that's why finding mentors and resources is the thing you need to do, because you will learn from them. You will learn their mistakes and just not try not to do it again. And just, it's so cool, to just learn from their lives. I don't know. It just motivates me to do even better, to do even more than them, So yeah, again, you can also find books. I can also give you books that I really, really, really liked it. So the first one is basically Atomic Habits. I've talked about it. I talked about it a lot. It's something I really, really liked. A book that I read twice. Then I have this book that I'm also reading right now. It's Overcoming Imposter Anxiety. It's about self-confidence, self-cautious, Maybe it's not exactly what you're searching for, but for me, it was the book that changed my life for real. Then we also have the 48 Laws of Power. We also have the Conscious Laws of Human Nature, the Psychology of Money, etc. We have so many books that I truly loved. It was my favorite. My favorite also author is Robert Greene. Favorite. And then also Rich Dad Poor Dad. Favorite book ever. Favorite. Perfect, for just growing yourself, growing your mindset, And yeah, and of course, you also can go to Google and to YouTube, because you will find so many informations if you don't really want to have physically or on social a mentor. So yeah, hope this would help. Balancing school and business growth. As a teen entrepreneur, your time is limited, of course, so it's essential to strike a balance between school and your business. Set clear boundaries for when you work on your business and when you will focus on your studies. It's okay to ask for help, whether it's from friends, family, or professionals. But remember that scaling your business is a marathon, not a sprint, So pace yourself to avoid burnout. Please respect yourself, okay? Sometimes you can also have days with just today I don't want to work. That's it, because this is a balanced life. Life isn't about just working every day with exceptions, because we have also our emotions. We are also human. We need also to respect ourselves and our boundaries, because this isn't meant for everyone. For everyone, it's different. For me, this was the best thing I've learned. It suits for me a lot. Maybe it suits for you or not. It's everyone is different, okay? And maybe you can also take all of this and maybe change a little bit, So yeah. So my final thoughts about it is that scaling your teen business is both an exciting and challenging journey. It requires strategic thinking, smart use of resources, and focus on what truly matters. By automating tasks, outsourcing when necessary, and maintaining a strong brand, you can grow your business while still managing your schoolwork or personal life. So stay motivated, keep learning, and remember that every step you take brings you closer to your goals. And that's what we want on the Algae Mindset podcast. Yeah, that was it. I'll be diving maybe deeper in these strategies, sharing success stories, and offering actionable advice to help you on your journey if you want to. You can always contact me via my email address or via Instagram or TikTok on Algae Mindset. That's it. And yeah, hope you will really enjoy this one. You can also comment, share, put a like, everything you want. And yeah, that was it. Thank you for listening. It was Luisa Chazor on Algae Mindset. Bye.